Pokémon, a franchise that took the world by storm and defined the childhoods of many. It has only gotten more popular with time, but what was Pokémon like way back then? More specifically, how has competitive Pokémon changed over the years for those striving to be the very best? Now that is exactly what we are here to find out. In this series, Jeexx and I will embark on an adventure to be the very best, exploring through time and space to rediscover Pokémon's past formats. In each episode, both of us will bring two teams and battle it out in a best of 3 match, and the one who wins with both teams first is crowned the champion of the episode. We hope you enjoy this trip to Pokemon's evolution with us. Welcome to the Pokemon Progression Series, A Journey Through Time. Generation 4, Sinnoh, with Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, based on the North Hokkaido region of Japan, was the generation where I myself started my Pokemon journey. It added 107 new Pokemon, and while the number of changes that happened this generation were not as plentiful as the previous generations, it introduced one of the single most influential ones in the history of the franchise, the physical special split. This changed the previous type determines whether a move is physical or special to a system where now individual moves each have this determined separately, allowing Pokemon like Sneasel to now take advantage of their stat moves using their dominant offensive stat. Some other impactful changes were Sandstorm now giving rock types a 50% speed F boost, the absolutely massive addition of Stealth Rock, arguably the single most important move in competitive singles history, as well as the addition of obviously even more items like the rest of the choice items, Scarf and Specs, and the Life Orb, which allowed for Pokemon to leverage their health to boost their offensive prowess even further, as well as type resist berries, which could allow Pokemon to live moves they normally wouldn't be able to. What is up, guys and girls, ladies and lads, welcome back to the Pokemon Prog series with the other VGC format of Generation 4, that being VGC 2010, the restricted format. And I'm recording this way earlier in the week than we're supposed to be doing the episode, so if I end up looking very different then that's because why. I just made the team, so I felt inspired and figured that since I now have the teams, I might as well talk about them. But let's start simply by addressing my teams. My teams are very simple. They have the box legendaries of Generation 4, Diamond and Pearl, respectively, and then the weather setters in Groudon and Kyogre. Before I talk about anything about the team, if you look at the restricted Mons in the format, I think the notable ones are Dialga, Palkia, Ray, Groudon, and Kyogre. I do think Ray is strictly worse than the other ones. Obviously, Airlock is good for shutting out weather strategy that are going to be good, and Ray also gets access to extreme speed, but because Ray doesn't have access to a good flying type stab move at this point, I feel like Ray is a little bit underwhelming, but I do still consider it somewhat scary. I think Giratina, like regular Giratina, is awful in this format. Giratina Origin has a place, and even like something like Ho-Oh in a Suntame, I feel like could do something, but without Regenerator, like I'm not really worried about it. I feel like Lugia has the same issue with Giratina, where they're too passive to really do anything, and Mewtwo is fine, but a Monopsychic type for one of your 2 restricted slots, I feel like it's kinda whatever. It's basically like using a restricted slot to get a better Alakazam, which I don't think is good enough. So I'm giving this as a context that when I built these teams, I have literally only looked at possible restricteds that Jeexx would bring to be Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Palkia, and Dialga. That's literally it. If he ends up rocking up with a Ho-Oh Mewtwo, we'll figure it out. But that's what I wanted to address. But my teams are pretty simple. I feel like they're not as boring as they were last time, but still, like, I feel like they're very simple. The first one is a Sun team with Groudon, with Cresselia as a dedicated Trick Room setter. I really wanted a second Trick Room setter as well, but I figured that like it's so hard to fit it in, and Cresselia is also very bulky, so I think with Fake Out support, it's gonna be able to do the job just well. And I will Cresselia will come in almost into almost every single match. It has Helping Hand, Trick Room, Light Screen, and Lunar Dance. There are no attacking moves on Cresselia, which I figured is fine. It's there to click Trick Room almost always on the first hand. First turn, it does have Lunar Dance. If I feel like I'm being too passive, just being AFK on the board, like we then have Cresselia with Lunar Dance being able to fulfill the life bar of one of our 2 restrictors, which is obviously really good. I'm a lot more afraid of special moves. You'll see in my EV spreads, I'm a lot more afraid of special moves, specifically for, because what I said, because I think even Ray is better as a dedicated special attacker with Protect, Air Slash, Draco Meteor, and then Extreme Speed. But that's the set I'm expecting to see if Jeexx ends up bringing Rayquaza. But like I said, like for the restricted, like the only one that realistically, in my opinion, should be using physical moves is Groudon, and obviously with Levitate we are already immune to its stab, so I figured Light Screen and going for special defense made more sense. But most of the time, like, Cresselia is there to set Trick Room and then help one of our restricted with Helping Hand. With spread moves, obviously this is going to hit extremely hard. The other one that's gonna be there to help usually set up Trick Room is our Fake Outer of choice, Hitmontop. It's carrying a Cobra Parry because, like I already have lefties on Cresselia, I have Citrus on Groudon, and so realistically the 2 like actually relevant like defensive items are already gone. I don't really care if Hitmontop gets status, so Lumberry doesn't really do anything. So that's why I elected to go for Cobra Berry in the off chance, because I think Ray is still more likely than a Psychic, because the other one I was considering was the Psychic Resist Berry, but with Cobra Berry and with max out HP and special defense EVs, Hitmontop is guaranteed to live to, actually not guaranteed, no wait, yeah, I'm guaranteed to live 2 air slashes from Ray, even without any recovery. And I think it was even like a 2% chance. I actually should have had my calcs up here, but I think it was like a 2% chance to 3-hit KO. So I'm basically like, this set, if it's special Ray, as I'm expecting, like, should tank that really well. And obviously with Intimidate, like even physical, we can combat that really well. Fake Out, very obvious. Helping Hand also here in a restricted format with a lot of spread moves. Like I feel like Helping Hand is extra valuable, always obviously very good. Protect, makes sense, obviously. And our final move, because I don't want to be like just a passive on the board, is Low Kick, because all of the restricted, obviously, that I'm expecting to see are grounded and extremely heavy. Like Low Kick, even without investment on something like Dialga, is actually going to hit really hard. So that's why we're carrying that. The only reason why, even though it's a Trick Room team, I have speed, max speed EVs and a single point in speed is just on the off chance that Jeexx is also bringing Hitmontop, because I think Hitmontop is very good in this format. If he's bringing Hitmontop as well, and he has elected to go for what, like I think this is the best spread available for Hitmontop, but like something like a little special defense and maybe making it live and attack from physical Ray or something also makes sense. But just on the off chance he's also running Hitmontop and not investing anything into speed, I want to have the faster Fake Out. So this is also, like, this will immediately tell me some investment on his Hitmontop on the off chance that we have a mirror. Then our first of our 2 restricted Mons is a Groudon, obviously there to set the sun with Citrus Berry. It's a very bulky attacker, a very simple EV spread there. I am carrying some speed investment, even though I am a negative speed nature, and the reason for that will come up when we talk about Executor. But Groudon is going to be a good one in Trick Room, Protect, Rock Slide, Earthquake, Fire Punch. We have our strongest move to take advantage of the Sun. We have Earthquake, obviously Stab, but we have Rock Slide here as just a good spread move, and then Protect, like a very self-explanatory set, I feel. And obviously, like, we do have an Earthquake immunity in Cresselia, which is really good as well. Then we have Dialga with an Adamant Orb, Dragon Pulse, Thunder, Flash Cannon, and Protect. I didn't want to go for a Draco Meteor for Dialga because I don't want to be stuck at -2. especially when I get Dialga in Trick Room. Dialga is a dedicated Trick Room attacker with 0 speed IVs as well, so just giving Dialga obviously the 2-step moves to make full advantage of Adamant Orb, and obviously running a Sun team, like I'm somewhat weak to a Rain team, which is why we're carrying the Thunder for coverage to maybe take advantage of opposing Rain and get rid of the Kyogre that way. And final move, obviously, Protect. And as what I was talking about with Groudon, I want to also not be reliant on Trick Room if it ends up like not working out. So that's why we're carrying an Executor with a tiny bit of special defense EVs to live. With Chlorophyll, like it should be the fastest thing on the board. We're carrying Solar Beam, Hidden Power Fire, Grass Knot, and Protect. Obviously, fully dedicated Sun attacker. The only reason there to carry Grass Knot is, just like Locate, Grass Knot also scales based on the opponent's weight. And on the off chance that obviously Jeexx overrides my Sun with Kyogre's Rain, I want to be able to still hit Kyogre very hard, which is why Grass Knot is there. Weather Ball isn't a thing, unfortunately. Yet, that's why we have Hidden Power Fire instead. It's just our strongest fire type move to take advantage of the Sun. And then final member of our team is Dugong. Dugong is very unlikely to come into any matches, but Dugong is still there mostly to be able to combat Kyogre. Another, like, obviously it's a water resist. It has Thick Fat as well to resist ice and fire attacks as well. So it matched up decently well into both of the restricted weather setters. It has access to Fake Out as well. Ice Beam Surf, just the two stat moves. And then Encore is there because usually when you're seeing Dugong, you're probably not gonna Fake Out the Dugong. So if Jeexx goes for Fake Out and I have Dugong on the board, like then I can go for Encore on the Fake Outer, obviously rendering it completely useless on the board. But like I said, Dugong a lot less likely to come into any matches. Like most of the time, like we're picking 4 out of our 5 other members. The other team is once again a Rain team. I clicked the same one. Once again, a Rain team. And here, Kyogre, Ludicolo, and Palkia will be in 99.9% of the matches. And the last slot will be between Hariyama, Rhyperior, and Arcanine. Just that in mind. Kyogre, very basic set. Just maxing out its speed. Giving it all the special attack IVs as possible. Water Spout, Hydro Pump, and Thunder and Ice Beam for attacking moves. Thunder obviously abuses the water choice specs. Water Spout from a full life Kyogre in the rain. Basically nothing is going to live through that, and if we manage to click that on a board where currently on the field there's nothing that resists it, we're almost certainly immediately on the spot winning the game. His partner in crime, a Ludicolo with a Focus Sash with Swift Swim. Obviously, it's going to be very fast. Once again, maxing out its speed, but this time I'm also investing fully into its special attack instead of the HP, because we have access to the Focus Sash. It's there to Fake Out as well. Protect, very obvious. This time I'm electing to not go for Hydro Pump, because Grass Knot, once again, like I'm mostly worried about the weather setters, and Grass Knot obviously hits both of those extremely hard. And then final move, this time we have Icy Wind, because I want some speed control in this team, especially because if Kyogre is faster, able to click Water Spout, it's just gonna dominate entire teams, which is really good. I really wanted to have Rain Dance as the 4th move, but I really like, no matter how hard I think about it, like I can't justify running Rain Dance instead of Icy Wind. Then our second restricted in this team is going to be Palkia. Palkia with a Lustrous Orb, a Spatial Rend, Hydro Pump to take full advantage of that, Protect there as a very obvious move, and Thunder to obviously take advantage of the Rain once again. Pretty self-explanatory, the EV spread, same thing there. And then, like I said, like the third member is going to be one of these 3. Most likely it's going to be Hariyama. Hariyama rocking a Citrus Berry and a Thick Fat to resist essentially fire and ice type moves. Our second Fake Out Mon, also access to Protect, Low Kick there for the same reason as was with Hitmontop, to hit the restricted as hard as possible, and Bullet Punch because it's the only priority move that we have access to. Next one, we have Rhyperior. Rhyperior is there for the Rain Mirror. It's rocking a Choice Band. It is very unlikely to ever get a move off unless Jeexx is running like a Rain, Trick Room team, but Rock Slide is what we would most likely be clicking And hindsight, like Ice Punch probably should be Fire Punch, but it's fine. But Rhyperior or even Thunder Punch, honestly. But Rhyperior is there to basically be a Lightning Rod. The ability is the only thing here that matters. In the off chance that we are running into... why do I say off chance? It's a 50-50 basically. Assuming that Jeexx is running Kyogre, but I think Kyogre is the single best restricted in the entire format, so I think it would make sense. So obviously, if Jeexx clicks is a choiced Kyogre or anything carrying Thunder, if we switch Rhyperior next to Kyogre, Rhyperior is going to draw all the electric type moves into itself, and obviously being a ground type, it's immune to them, which means that Kyogre is free to then click Water Spout once again and just wreck 2 teams. But like I said, obviously, being a rock ground type made to combat mostly a water type strategy, we'll see how that goes, but it's there as an idea, and hopefully it does something and comes up, because I think it would be cool. And finally, we're here because if we want to take advantage of our opponent's Sun, we do have Arcanine here with the Sugar Berry, there to resist Earthquake from Groudon, Intimidate, obviously to lower its attack, Flare Blitz there as our strongest fire type, Stab move, Extreme Speed, obviously is just really good, and then Protect Helping Hand to increase the damage of our teammates. But those are 2 teams that I built. I feel like there's a lot... although I think they're very cookie cutter, but I feel like this time I've been a lot more like thorough with like, why am I picking each member and when should I bring each member? And I think restricted formats are also usually better for that as well. Not better, but easier, because almost always you're gonna bring your restricteds. I think there is a world in some matchups where, for example, the Sun team, you bring Cresselia, Hitmontop, Groudon, and Exeggutor and leave Dialga behind. But the thing about Dialga is so good because it's a dragon that resists dragon. Whereas it beats every other dragon restricted 1v1, which is obviously really good. But yeah, those are my 2 teams. Hopefully enjoyed the team breakdowns, hopefully enjoyed Jeexx as well, and afterwards I will see y'all in the battle zone, and hopefully finally we can actually take a full episode and cut off Jeexx's doubles streak. So enjoy the rest of the episode.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're playing VGC 2010. Which is like a significantly better format than VGC 2009, largely because of the fact that we get to actually play Pokemon that are past level 50 and they get synced down to 50 instead of having to manually be set to 50. But yeah, I am running Palkia, Kyogre, Weavile, Suicune, Aesolve, and Gliscor, with Palkia running Thunder, Hydro Pump, Protect, Spatial Rend, with a max speed investment, a special attack, 252, and then Lustrous Orb. Main idea obviously being that I want to pair it with having Rain on board, and just going like brrr, and then I can use like Gliscor to bait some shit, and so on and so forth maybe, and using Thunder obviously to check other water types or flying types, and then Spatial Rend for pretty much anything anything that is resistant to either of those, and then Protect to keep myself healthy. And then there's obviously Kyogre with Choice Scarf, Drizzle, Icy Wind, Thunder, Muddy Water, Water Spout. The reason why I have 2 water type moves is because I was considering having only 1 originally, but then I decided that no, I would prefer having a spread move, 2 spread moves. One that like I can use when I'm obviously scarfed, so I want to click on this immediately, a max speed investment. I'm probably not gonna kill, but it'll do a ton. It's gonna do a ton. And then Muddy Water for later on if I happen to switch into Kyogre. If I have to switch out, it's obviously not going to be max HP anymore or full HP anymore, so I'm going to click Muddy Water or Thunder or Icy Wind. Icy Wind is also here because it gives me speed control, which is kind of ass when you think about it, because it's like, well, I already have Icy Wind on, I think I have it on 3. I have it on 3, and the main reason for that is just because like my team is fairly fast, but it's not the fastest it could be. Like, for example, I obviously have Suicune here with no speed investment. Weavile is intended to be giga fast, and then I have Gliscor, and Gliscor is like the slowest Pokemon on the team with speed investment, which makes it kind of annoying, and like that's a big part of why I want to always be running a mon that can have speed control, because I have access to pretty decent spread moves on Gliscor, but it's also like pretty frail, so I want to make sure that when I use it, I'm going to be able to U-turn out, for example. It has Focus Sash, so if it gets one-shot by Ice Beam, it won't get one-shot, so on and so forth. Right, then we have a pretty similar set to the previous one on Weebfox. These EVs are a little bit different, if I remember correctly. I think I changed up like speed a bit more, and I gave it I did give it more HP, because last time it had a life orb. Now it has a citrus berry, and the idea obviously being that I don't want it to just explode. You could make the argument, well, I should give it a life orb again, because if I want to have be dealing damage, but I don't think that's as relevant as like actually making sure that this guy kind of survives. Although he's super frail, so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, Fake Out, Icy Wind, Protect, Dark Pulse. We're full on like going for the special attacking route now. Fake Out obviously being mostly just for the fact that like I don't have any other Fake Outers, and it's gonna be a decent support for Kyogre, and it's gonna be a decent support for Azel and even Gliscor. Then you have Suicune, Icy Wind, Toxic, Hydro Pump, Protect. This is obviously like I have 3 water types on the team, and I'm probably gonna be bringing 1 to 2 every time. And if I'm bringing 2, I'm gonna bring Kyogre with either a Palkia or a Suicune, and these have 2 drastically different sets. Where Suicune is a special wall with Icy Wind, Toxic, Hydro Pump, and Protect. Obviously, it's got some utility in the form of Toxic, and it's got a lot of survivability using lefties and Protect. And Icy Wind again for speed control, because everything that isn't Kyogre is gonna get outsped by everything pretty much. Then we have Azelf, which is U-turn, Protect, Thunder, Toxic. It's also running a utility move in the form of Toxic. And the main idea here then being like, if I'm not bringing Suicune, I'm probably bringing Azelf for spreading status, for using Thunder, because this thing is pretty strong right out of the box with little to no special attack investment. Then it has Levitate, which I kind of wanted to have so that I can pair it with a Pokemon that has EQ, so I can run it with like Gliscor, and it has U-turn so that I can pivot out of stuff if need be. Well, not after, but like I can pivot out into stuff. For example, for Weavile to use Fake Out again, and then obviously Thunder because of Rain Dance or Drizzle, and then yeah, Protect for everything that doesn't have a choice. Gliscor, choice item. Gliscor, I already went over this. It has EQ, U-turn, and Rock Slide, max attack investment, Hyper Cutter, Focus Sash, so it can't get one shot. Could make the argument that I should be running something like Ban instead, but I think it's too likely to get one shot by an Ice Beam here, so we're gonna be running it as is. Then for the second team, we have T-Tar, Lugia, Garchomp, Dialga, Empoleon, and Hitmontop. T-Tar with pretty much a similar set to what Gliscor has, with Crunch, Rock Slide, EQ, Protect, Lefty, Sandstream. Obviously, this is supposed to be a bit of a Sandstorm team. I have 4 Mons in the team that don't take any damage from Sandstorm, and then I have 2 Pokemon that will take damage from Sandstorm, but that I figured would be pretty decent to slot in because of, for example, having Intimidate or being Flying. So yeah, then we have max attack investment and high HP investment. Then we have Lugia with that Life Orb, Aeroblast, Psychic, Protect, Icy Wind. You can make the argument that I don't want to be running Aeroblast on this, I guess. I could be running something like I already have one utility, but you can make the argument of running something like, I don't know, Calm Mind even over that. Like, you could make the argument that I should be it has Calm Mind, like playing setup instead of just playing offensive moves. Then we have Garchomp with EQ, Dragon Claw, Protect, Brick Break. Brick Break is here because I think there's a high likelihood that I'm gonna get screened. I feel like there's like, we didn't see any last time around. I might be misremembering, but I feel like Zapdos is still in here. Zapdos still in slide screen. Brick Break would probably be pretty nice to run, considering that I have three really strong like special attackers. Garchomp kinda allows me to deal with screens if they have to go up. But yeah, EQ, Dragon Claw, obviously Protect, Yachi Bear because I don't want to get one shot by an Ice move. Obviously, again, you can make the argument, well, you're gonna get one shot by a Dragon move, so you should be running I think there's one that reduces Dragon type move damage as well. But I feel like Ice Beam and Icy Wind are far more common, so I would rather prevent myself from getting chunked out by an Icy Wind or a Ice Beam than deal with just Draco Meteor or something like that. And that's partially just because I think you can play around Dragon type moves better than you can play around Ice type moves. Then your Dialga with Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon, Flamethrower. I'm running Flamethrower instead of Fire Blast because I felt like I wanted the reliability of Flamethrower or Fire Blast. You could make the argument that, well, Fire Blast is just significantly better, especially because I don't have Stab, but I'm gonna hope that that doesn't actually come to bite me in the ass, since most of the Pokemon that I'm gonna be using against are already, like, they're probably resistant to it, or they're, like, neutral to it. So we'll see how this goes. And then obviously Flash Cannon, Draco Meteor, Flash Cannon being a solid Steel type move. I think this thing does have a unique, like, move to itself, but it's ass. What was it called again? It's not... I can't find it. Roar Time, there we go. Yeah. User cannot move next turn. Yeah, it's useless. But yeah. Then we have Empoleon with a Lumberry, with Torrent, Hydro Pump, Flash Cannon, Ice Beam, Protect. This thing doesn't have Icy Wind, because I don't think I really want to give it Icy Wind. I would rather have this thing actually be hitting hard. Originally, there was a team version of this where I considered running, like, Infernape instead of Empoleon, but I felt like having... Even though Empoleon isn't going to be able to take hits from, like, EQ, for example, Empoleon is still going to be able to tank, like, tank the Sandstorm, because it has Steel typing, whereas Infernape would get hit by a EQ and then also get Sandstorm damage from my own Sandstorm. But yeah, you could make the argument that I want to be running Speed Control in this team, because more so than the other one, mostly because of the fact that, like, a lot of the Pokemon on this team are fucking slow as fuck. Like, the fastest Pokemon is Lugia. Obviously, Garchomp is pretty fast. Garchomp is in 105, but it's still, like, really fast for the tier. But then, like, for example, Dialga, max speed investment Dialga is 156. Maybe we'll just do this real quick. Maybe that'll be worth it. Icy Wind, there we go. Yeah, we'll see how that works. And then we have Hitmontop with Citrus Spray, Intimidate, Protect, Fake Out, Mouth Punch, Toxic. I really wish this thing had U-turn, man. But yeah, again, it's kind of set up in a way where it can take special hits, special defensive, but it can also take 2 hits from EQ and won't explode. It has a Citrus Berry, so that even if it gets doubled down, not doubled up, but like if it gets hit by an EQ and one of my opponents move, odds are that it's still going to be able to heal back up to like 40%, 50% maybe, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, kind of excited to see what these games will play out like. Anyhow, good luck with the games.
I got jump scared when I launched Pokemon Showdown, because it's been obviously a few weeks for us, and I completely forgot that I installed the... I remember like showing you the Showdex or something, the one that does the calculations and everything. And just as I did that after the last one, we obviously like didn't play for a couple weeks. So now I just put about like, what the fuck is happening? And then, oh yeah, I forgot it's this thing.
You got illegal modifications now, right?
I asked you if it was okay. It's really funny though to think that I was like, hey, since I only have one screen, you cool with me using this, and then things happened and we skipped 3 weeks in a row. So it's now it's like, okay, well now I actually don't need it, but
yeah.
I
mean, it's still gonna be useful.
Yeah, right? I mean, I'll see how it is, because if it's just like the calculation things, then obviously that's cleaner and neater, but we'll see. I'll give it a shot and see if I like it or not. But yeah, like I said, it's been a couple weeks for us. How you feeling about some Pokemon?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I am not confident. I have 5 Mons in both of my teams that I really like, and then both of them have one that I'm like, this is never coming to any battle ever.
Oh.
Because it's like I
made these teams being like, oh, I have one Mon that I really want to play at the minimum because I can play it now, and the rest I'm like, how do I like actually build this team in a way that it makes sense? And I don't feel like I achieved that, especially because of the restricted Pokemon, right? Yeah. The restricted Pokemon make it so that it feels like, well, I gotta think of something that like actually uses these.
Yeah.
And it sort of limits my thinking of how the format would play out.
This is where I'd refer to something that I probably said in my team breakdowns, but I'm looking at the file on my team breakdowns, and apparently I did this on Monday, 12th January. 1613, which is almost a month away. It's It's been 29 days since I recorded my team breakdown, so the theory is gone. I'm gonna click buttons and hope things die.
That's good. That sounds very familiar.
I did go to immediately look at my EV express, and I'm like, if there's some specific shit here, like I'm cooked, but I'm like, whatever, man. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
But
well,
I think that's where we can get in the game. So one final thing, it is the end of Generation 4, and the one biggest thing that I'm so excited for Gen 5 onwards is Team Preview. Not having to guess, all right, what's he gonna have next? What's gonna be there next? And also, last time I did the I did the best of 3 thing, which obviously gave us like 20 seconds to click accept in between. So let's just do it in best of 1s in between. Because I'll be perfectly honest, I think there is a good chance that I might need to run to the bathroom in between games. So just to have that buffer there. And we'll do once again, like I'll start the timer only like 2 minutes after. Because normally we would, in VGC anyway, have the 2 minutes to pick our teams. So there'll be that thinking moment. But anything else before we get started?
No.
All right.
Not really, no.
Let's get right to it then. I will send you the invitation in just a second. So best of luck.
Good luck, good luck.
Why did you chuckle like that? Also, I completely forgot to do this. Sure, I can be Riley. I was like, I don't know what character I'm gonna have here now, but we'll just accept whatever it is. Challenge, we're gonna go to Generation 4, VGC 2010, and we'll do a best of... Oh, if you tick it, then it's okay. Then I don't need to do that. Whoops. I want to change my teams. I think there's a good chance that... Actually, with Jeexx, you know what? I'll start with Rain. We'll start with this, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, like I said in the intro, it's been a while for us since we've last played. Also, I'm realizing now... Oh, thank God I remembered. I was in the wrong thingamajig. Sorry about that. Alright, so... What... I think, like, at the start, I always go, like, these 4 in this order, because that's what I've, like, thought of it. So, the theory behind Rhyperior, I don't remember, like I said, I don't remember what I said in my team breakdown anymore, but the theory behind Rhyperior is Lightning Rod, so it can beat opposing Kyogre, but obviously it also then would lead my Kyogre's stuff in. So it's like, if Kyogre is useless and... I'm going for something with Ludicolo. It's like, there's theory there. It would be scarier with Team Preview, because Jeexx says that, and he has to then be wary of Lightning Rod existing. But obviously, we have no Team Preview, so Rhyperior doesn't really work. Arcanine is just here to maybe make use of Jeexx's Sun, if he has it. But for the most part, I'm going to be going with these 4, and we'll see what happens. And he's going, like... the crazy route. Now, here's the thing that the most likely outcome is, like, my Ludicolo is the fastest thing on the board, but the thing is, like, is he choice item? Because if he's choice Scarf Thunder, that's when this gets really scary. The issue here, though, is I don't have a great switch here. But this is why I wanted to go the Sun team, because obviously this is a really boring mirror that unfortunately I don't think I can really switch in. There's a part of me that wants to just click Thunder on Kyogre. Thunder on Kyogre is like a chance to Oko. And what about... This is 2 KO. Okay, this is useful, like seeing this like this. Thunder is a 2 KO. What about Thunder plus Grass Knot? I'm all because I have access to Fake Out, which I think like Fake Out the Kyogre, and but like the issue here is that I think I died to... Actually, I don't die to Thunder ever unless it's a crit. Then I think this is a pretty safe play, where I click Thunder on Kyogre and also fake it out. Chances are, because like if he protects here, then that's when there's an issue. Because then obviously, what's his face? Then obviously I lose a ton of momentum and I would get hit by Thunder on Palkia's side. But because I think like I have such a bad matchup when it comes to the leads. I don't know if there's another play I can make. And the thing about restricted formats is like the tempo is crazy. This is all my spread, right? We do Fake Out comes out, Kyogre is the next to move, Space Run comes out, and we hit the Thunder. Okay, perfect. So we know now that Kyogre is Scarfed. Or we got really lucky with the he just happened to move first, but I think we can safely assume that Kyogre is Scarf now. Now here the issue is that we just died to Spatial Rend. Did he take... no. Weavile is scary, but I do have a Sash on this thing. Now the thing here is, I kind of like Icy Winding. So then, like, when I get Palkia in, like, Palkia is going to be faster than his Palkia. Assuming Palkia isn't Scarf, and he just wants the speed tie. But I think, unfortunately here, we do need to sack Kyogre. The thing is, how much damage am I taking off from Weavile? I'm going to be faster, because, obviously... Yeah, I think we gotta sack Kyogre here. Let me see Palkia into Palkia. Palkia into Palkia. Spatial Rend is a guaranteed OHKO, so I don't need the chip on that. This could all go really wrong if he's actually Scarf on Palkia. Okay, he also Ice Winded. That doesn't matter. I'm dying here anyway, yeah. Crit didn't matter there. I was dead anyway. But now the thing that's really important here is because I have the speed stat dropped. Does this update it in real time? 129. Yeah, so I'm going to be faster. So now I can go into my own Palkia. Now the thing here is that I'm almost 100% sure that he's going to protect his Palkia. Because surely that's not Special Rend. Yeah, no, it's not, because I was gonna say it's not gonna be. We know that this isn't choice, but it could be. But I don't think there's any point to be in choice when you can just run this thing. So I think like Palkia protecting is almost guaranteed. The issue is that if I predict that and he doesn't protect, I think I just die because Icy Wind. Actually, if I hit Icy Wind, then it doesn't really matter because I can go Icy Wind, and I actually think this is a pretty safe play. Can I kill Hydro Pump? Always KOs Weavile, but it's not a super likely hit. Spatial Rend is 95%. If I Spatial Rend the Weavile, I die to Palkia, and then I don't have a way to beat Palkia, whereas I have this thing for Weavile always. So I think although it's so... I'm so sure he's gonna protect Palkia, I don't think I can make that prediction. I actually wonder if it's more valuable for me to do Icy Wind, just in case the Weavile Icy Winds also, than Grass Knot. And I mean, I might miss the Spatial Rend. It is 95% accurate. I'll go for Icy Wind again. And yeah, this was very likely to happen. But we still, because of the switch, like we get a lot of tempo here, because we're still going to be faster than his Palkia. So I'm just going to click the same two moves again. And I don't think there's anything he can do here, because he will have Fake Out Pressure on Weavile. But unless he gets the double protect, yeah, this makes sense. Like, save your restricted. I still, if he hit the Icy Wind, Yeah, we're still gonna be faster. This thing should die. Yeah, but now he maneuvered this really smartly because now it's a speed tie. Well, it would be a speed tie if I didn't have Swiss him up, but he has Protect up now, and he can do something with Gliscor. But still, 95% to hit on both moves. I will do, once again, the same thing. I will click the same moves, because Gliscor will die to Icy Wind, and it's slower. And yeah, I was going to say, as long as we hit Palkia, Palkia is going to get speed dropped, and speed ties are fun. I maneuvered that perfectly, but he won the speed tie. So this is still very losable. I don't think we lose it, because I do have Fake Out. So if it was a later generation, I think generation 6 onwards, speed is dynamic. But before that, speed gets calculated at the start of the turn. So even though I moved with Ludicolo and dropped his speed, that didn't take effect yet. And instead, Jeexx won the speed tie. But here, if he's smart, like he always protects here, because then he avoids the Fake Out turn damage, which he's taking everything. Yep, this is smart. He's maneuvering like this well, but I'm still like annoyed at that, obviously. But I do have Sash on my Ludicolo, which is still intact, so I should still win this. And I could predict him like swinging into one of these, but I'd rather not, because we're still doing a lot of damage. Yeah. With the Citrus, he does get the knowledge of the Citrus, but we still take game 1. Whew. GG. I think I played that really well, like, I'll be honest. Alright, let's go for the same teams again. Just in case. So remember the... So now we know he is a rain team. So, challenge. Does that change anything? I think it might change my leads. But at the same time, if I do the same leads, because I'm pretty sure we know that Kyogre is Scarfed. Like, that's the one thing. This is Lustrous Orb. We didn't know Weavile item. We don't know this guy's item. But we do know that his... Well, we can assume that his Kyogre is Scarf. But the issue, if I go these and he also brings out the Fake Out Mon, like that's when things get scary. I should still have the fastest Fake Out, but if he leads Weavile and Kyogre... Actually, yeah, that's a really good lead for him. Should I play into it being Weavile Kyogre? I kind of like that. I could do double Fake Out as well to negate any sort of Fake Out pressure. The issue is that my offensive prowess with these two is really bad. So, honestly, we'll try the other mode. And we'll do still the same for Mons. But this time, I'm expecting Weavile Kyogre. Suicune Weavile. Well, this still works. There is no... The issue here, he has faster Fake Out. But do I kill Jeexx? Do I kill this thing with low kick? Probably not. Oh, I do. Weavile is so frail that it still kills even though it's obviously very light. I could risk Thunder, but I'd rather keep my... I do also have Fake Out. This thing, Calm Minding, is just really scary, but I still think this is my play. But he definitely has the two other restrictors in the back. I don't think you're ever leaving your restrictors out, especially in the earlier generation formats when it's like they're so defining with their power. So it should be Kyogre and Palkia in the back. But like, if Weavile fakes out my Hariyama and he Calm Minds on Suicune, like that's the worst case scenario. But I still think like even with that, like I'm okay with it. I'm expecting Fake Out into Palkia and Suicune to do something, but I'm not that scared at Suicune. He could like just Fake Out my Hariyama as well. Actually, if he Fake Outs my Hariyama, no, it's still not worth it. I don't want to risk getting hit by Icy Wind because maintaining my... We saw how important speed is. Palkia is so good in also like these rain teams, not only because it can obviously abuse rain itself, but it's also like a way for rain teams to beat other rain teams. Let's see, Icy Wind. Okay, he did go for the fake out there. Toxic, interesting. That's fine though. If I'm him, like now I Icy Wind every time. But another thing here is I actually might go into Kai. Do I go into? I don't think I go. I might risk. How much damage do I do on this with a? Spatial Wind doesn't do that much, unfortunately. Even Thunder's a 2-hit KO though. But the issue here is I would love to maintain my Bullet Punch doesn't Oko, yeah. I would love to maintain my PP because Spatial Wind has only 8 PP. If he's brought like Suicune with a Toxic, like I'm expecting him to have like some stall stuff. So like part of me wants to Thunder, but no, I'll Spatial Wind because if I get a crit, like Spatial Wind is also like high chance. That's a huge miss. That's unfortunate for him. No crit. Hey, this does get the Toxic. We do get Weavile out. But another thing here is like even if he brings out Kyogre, like Kyogre can't Oko me. So he doesn't have one of his restricteds. Interesting. Well, I'm not too worried about these two, I'll be honest. There's a world where I just double switch. But honestly, if he doesn't have both of those, I don't really need Hariyama. I'm gonna low kick this thing, and I'm gonna switch to... Memento would be scary later, but I really want Rain Up at this point. So I'm actually gonna go into Kyogre here, because I don't feel too pressured. Oh, perfect. Ice Wind is annoying depending on what he goes into, but that's still perfectly fine. We get really good chip on this. And now me being slow is kind of annoying because obviously I would love to just click Water Spout. But honestly, given his competition, I'm expecting like this last one has to be obviously one of the same ones that we saw last game, and it's for sure one of his restricteds. So there's really not that much like drawback to me just clicking Thunder. This explosion blows me up here, which is like he could go for actually, yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna protect because if he I think explosion is likely here, but if he clicks explosion, I will have 3 Mons up against his either Kyogre or Palkia here. So I think this is a pretty safe play. Here's an explosion. No, it's a Thunder, I see. Him being faster than me is annoying though. I really expected the explosion. That's a good play. Okay, now if he explodes and I go Palkia, what's the punish there? Actually, never mind. I have a safe play here because I can go low kick into this thing and I can switch into Ludicolo because I have Sash. So if he goes for an... The punish here is like he can kill my Ludicolo with... what's his face? With a Icy Wind plus Thunder. Which I think actually for him, like Icy Wind plus Thunder is pretty safe here. But we'll see if he sees it. He Thunders that slot. Interesting. And Hydro Pump. Maybe he... Okay, crit doesn't matter. That kills even without the crits. We got in 2 crits, like obviously like him with Spatial Wind and me with low kick, but neither of those crits mattered. This is still scary. Okay, it is Palkia. Palkia is scary, but I do have Fake Out pressure here, so I can go Bullet Punch into this slot. Because I want my Hariyama to die, right? I definitely want my Hariyama to die. So I can also Fake Out the Palkia. No, to go for a log. No, it doesn't matter. I'll get chip on this just in case it has Sash. And I'm gonna... Do I Fake Out Palkia? I think I'd rather Fake Out Palkia. Or Icy Wind. Actually, Icy Wind is really good here. The issue is if he doubles into my Ludicolo, then I'm in... Actually, it doesn't matter. I'm in Swift Swim. Fake Out makes a lot of sense here. Actually, no. I'd rather Icy Wind, because the chip on Palkia of Fake Out, does it matter? No, I'd rather do this, because then I can bring in my Palkia. Which one was faster? It was 156 and 167, yeah. Because after I get one Icy Wind off, assuming he doesn't have Icy Winds left, like, I'm gonna outspeed Palkia with both of my restricted, so then I'm just kind of free to click Thunder. The one fear I still have is the, oh, that's frail. That's really frail. U-turn, and, okay. If he went for a Thunder on my Ludicolo there, like, he would have been the biggest brain. Do I go into Kyogre here, or do I go Palkia? I think I'd rather... this thing is no slower than both of my things. I think I go Kyogre first. Yeah. Because like here, I think I click... Oh, I didn't even see that here. It said also that would be... Now here the question is, what do I click? Apparently I killed this with everything from this range. So actually I think... Yeah, this makes the most sense. I'll just Thunder this slot and Grass Knot the Palkia. Get that. Okay, I don't know if those are all showing up on the feed. Yeah, not yet. He's mostly just like the Switzerland booth isn't visible. That's fine. No, it should be GG. Because now I click GG. Alright. Well, we got there in a 2-0. Obviously, like, I just brought 4 crazy Mons. But now, the one thing that I'm scared here is, like, we just had a weather mirror, and now, like, is it gonna be another weather mirror? Probably. But like, respect on him from leaving actually restricted behind. That's a ballsy move to make. But once again, like here, I do have Executor. This is a super. Otherwise, this is a hard Trick Room team with an Executor mod with obviously Chlorophyll, like it's gonna outspeed everything, and then a Dugong that I'm never gonna use. But the idea here is to start with these two. Obviously, with Fake Out, you get Trick Room off, and then you can bring in your restricted. So let's go for these and see what we can do. A Sand team, interesting. So is he not running weather then? Well, I mean, he doesn't have Fake Outs here, so I'm gonna click Trick Room, and I'm gonna click a low kick on the Tyranitar because it would take a lot of damage from this. Obviously, I could also actually. Do I kill it with low kick? I actually just kill it with low kick. Okay. Assuming, obviously, this is assuming spreads. I don't know if Jeexx actually has this spread. But yeah, we'll go for these. Fake Out would be safer on T-Tar, so I don't eat the damage it would do. Actually, is it? What if this thing has crunch? How much damage am I taking? It doesn't... Let's see, like, if it has crunch. It doesn't do anything, Jesus. That's funny. What about T-Tar with crunch on Crass? It's still no, brother. Cresselia might be the most broken Pokemon of all time. But yeah, we'll go for this. These are crazy readings, by the way. I'm just worried, like, what if he crits me here? Like, I don't need to... Yeah, I don't need to take this risk. I'll just Fake Out the T-Tar. Because if he goes for a crit on T-Tar, That's fine. We got the flinch, and Jakrum is now up. Now, against these two, like, I can just bring in Groudon, obviously. Because I went for a fake out, I don't know if he expects low kick, I'll be honest. But I think against these two, like, I just bring in Groudon to get rid of the sand and low kick Tyranitar. I'm banking on him staying in with T-Tar here, by the way. And not protecting. Please stay in with... Okay, well, now this doesn't kill anymore, so that's annoying. Don't flinch me. Thank you. Yeah, now it doesn't kill, because now he can switch. He's obviously going to switch Tyranitar to maintain the... He hasn't brought in a restricted, though. In a team like this, it's like... It's either Groudon to have double weather, because it's also a ground type that doesn't take damage from sand, or it's a... Rayquaza for this to be like a weather control team where he doesn't want weather at all. But the thing is, like, this thing is always going to fake out. Like, I know the Hitmontop is going to fake out, so I could protect here, but it's always faking out this lot. So I think I go this, and I think I double switch, actually. I'm going to double switch. Because I'm expecting him to fake out Groudon and switch Tyranitar into either Groudon or... Actually, yeah, if it's... Because the thing is, like, my double switch is crazy if it's Rayquaza instead of Tyranitar. But if it's Groudon, then... Actually, I'm minimum speed on my Groudon, right? If I'm minimum speed, then I'm kind of fine. Yeah, I'm negative speed, so I would be slow, underspeed him, and then I can just go for a helping hand. Yeah, you know what? Let's go this, and let's go this. Lugia! Yeah, not what I expected at all. I mean, this is still fine. Like, yeah, and that's the fake. Like, that fake was obvious. So now here... Obviously, this Thunder is kind of pointless. I don't like... I can still hit it, but I think, like... Yeah, I was going to say, like... I can hit it, but because of Sunny Day, like, it's really unlikely to hit. Lugia is a big wall for me, but I can obviously deal with that with Groudon relatively well. And I don't think, like, it's hitting me with anything either. I think, like, Hitmontop is going to be the most annoying. Is White Guard a thing at this point yet? What if I... Helping Hand. Let's go Helping Hand. It just doesn't do anything still. I'm gonna do this, and I think we'll set up a light screen here. So I don't think either of these are also not, like, exerting much pressure, and Dialga cannot be toxic. So, like, this is clearly, like, more of a stall team, like Sandchip and, like, Lugia and Hitmontop. So I'm expecting this to be, like, he clearly, like, enjoys playing stall teams. So this is definitely gonna be some, like, toxic stall bullshit. Oh wait, I didn't see. Did he send me a message? No, it was someone else. Sorry, I just missed my friend. Okay, so what did Air Blast? Yeah, this did protect. We got Lacing Screen, Air Blast. No, yeah, okay. It's a life orb, brother. It's a life orb, Lugia. Not in a million years could it, like, you have the me to predict that. Well, it's gonna be the last turn of Trick Room, but, like, I'm still so healthy that I think we'll be fine. Do I just Helping Hand Dragon Pulse here? I don't like showing that I have helping hand, but like, I'll helping hand Dragon Pulse. Oh, well, this thing is the most gone Tyranitar ever. Icy Wind, that's perfectly fine. It's probably... Actually, which one is coming in now? I'd expect Garchomp. Because there's no... Yeah, this makes sense. He's not killing my Dialga with anything though, and he doesn't have pressure for, like, he doesn't have fake out pressure. So like I have a pretty free switch into Groudon, and I'll just click Trick Room again. Obviously he now gets fake out pressure in the background as well with Hitmontop, but I think that's fine. Dude, imagine I brought in fucking Executor against this team. I would have gotten absolutely rolled. But Lugia is one of his 2 restrictors in a Sand team. I mean, the other one gotta be Groudon then, right? But like Lugia. Oh, this is probably because he was saying like he finally gets to play one team that he's really wanted to play. These speed drops are obviously really good for me because I'm going for Trick Room. I'm gonna eat my citrus, I'll get off another Trick Room, and now we're gonna start clicking Rock Slide with Helping Hand. Oh, Rock Slide with Helping Hand, by the way. Doesn't kill. It's 3 KO, it's 3 KO. I'm still fine. I'm still gonna click it. It's also a 30% chance to flinch, which is obviously insane, so... Light Screen is ending in 2 turns. But at that point, like, Lugia should be gone. Oh yeah, whoops. I need to also click the target. This is annoying, but it's still fine. Place Finch. Or don't. Bruh. What is he? How come he gets all the crits? I mean, I'll just bring this thing out. For a an Intimidate boost, and we'll just reapply Light Screen, because obviously not much. Oh, he only had 30 seconds left. Don't run out of time, Jeexx. That's perfectly fine. I don't care about that. That's also fine. Now I'm gonna click a Fake Out on the Chomp, and I think I bring out the Groudon. Sure. We'll play out of Trick Room for a little bit, but that's perfectly fine. That's fine. Yep, I'm very defensive, but I'm obviously fine with that, because now I'm gonna lose my Hitmontop on a turn when Trick Room falls, when I can then bring it back in Cresselia and you know, do things. He's going for Mach Punch here always, but like getting this thing off and then just clicking Earthquake is gonna do a lot of damage, because now I'm not minus tech. Yeah, we get the helping out also because it's higher priority, and now they should, well, crit didn't matter, but we do also get damage on Chomp. Dude, he crit twice in a row. He got 2 crits in a row. That's really funny. Well, this is where we go Trick Room and Protect, because he is Earthquaking every time. He only has 10 seconds left, so yep. It's always Earthquake. Now we have Trick Room up. Now we kill a Garchomp and the game is over. So here, I'm just gonna set up Light Screen for a good measure and kill a Garchomp. This doesn't matter. Jeez. He maneuvered it like, still like pretty well. And Helping Hand on this, and we don't need to reveal anything else. I'm just clicking this. But bro, those 2 crits. Back to back. Got me terrified. Oh, I just left. Alright. Did we get any valuable knowledge here? Did we need to? Not really. Alright. 1-0 for us. Hopefully we can close it out in a solid 4-0, but let's not get too comfortable here. He's playing very well still. Bro, those 2 back to back chomp crits got me terrified. Oh yeah, one thing that I should note here is that Chomp does have Brick Break for my light screens. But yeah, because it's a team like this, do I just go for the same lead? From what the characters I saw, Hitmontop and something to punish the Trick Room start, I guess, like, would be the scariest thing. But I'll still go for the same stuff, because I don't even know his other restricted, so. Yeah, 1 more minute, and then I'll start the timer. But this is nice. I don't know, like, if I can adjust, like, his spreadsheet and stuff, but, like, this being on the same monitor is obviously nice. Oh yeah, you can see it's basically like right next to this, like, I have the, okay, it's Dialga. Dialga for the other one. Well, that's a little bit of a punish, but like, Groudon kind of eats it for breakfast. I'll still go for a Trick Room, and I mean, we could go for a low kick, but he's probably faking me out, I'll be honest. Trick Room, and if he fakes out Cresselia, me, it doesn't matter. I'm faking out this thing every time. Yep, that's fine. Both of us by a single turn, which is perfect fine. I'm now clicking Trick Room and low kick on this thing. I don't think, like, maybe I'm being, but I don't think even Draco kills me. Yeah, Draco definitely wouldn't kill me. Although, yeah, it was my lefties. Oh yeah, this should be up. But I think, like, we're playing fine. Flamethrower. Well, low kicks deals shitload. Toxic misses, and I wouldn't be surprised if he forfeits. I feel like when you're, like, super down and then you just miss a move, like, it's a tilter. The skills with Helping Hand, I actually wonder if I just go for that. I think Light Screen just makes more sense, though. Like, Light Screen and low kick again. He's missed, like, 2 Toxics, but he's also gotten a lot of crits. Toxic on that. We get the kill on. Apparently, like, he's 0 bulk. There's the Chomp. Chomp is annoying, but we can deal with it. I'll go... Actually, I could double switch. I'll go lights. Actually, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be faster than him. I think I'll go this thing into this and protect. Yeah. He did break the correct slot, so the last one probably the Lugia. Now here we do just have a free Fire Punch on. How much does my Fire Punch do on the Hitmontop with a Helping Hand? Still a 2 KO, but it might burn. So if I go Fire Punch and Low Kick, I don't think it does like anything. Not really. I guess I'd rather just get Chip on Chomp then. What's my damage up on Chomp? Earthquake does a lot, but not enough. I'll go Fire Punch on this and get some. Actually, Trick Room is ending soon. I'd rather actually bring this thing in. Okay, that's perfect, fine. Obviously, Fire Punch does a lot less now. No burn. Tyranitar is gonna eat a shit ton of this. Yep. T-Tar eats a lot, and we still have Trick Turn for one more turn, so I'm just gonna go for an Earthquake and help me. He probably protects T-Tar, but I'm perfectly fine with that. We go for Helping Hand here. Yeah, Earthquake and Helping Hand. Oh, he didn't even protect. Don't flinch me. If it flinches, Groudon, that. Dude, he's gotten so lucky. I'll say it. He's gotten very lucky. At least now I know that Tyranitar is gonna be slower than me. I'm killing Tyranitar here, but I'm probably losing Cress. Actually, I'm gonna save it with this. But yeah, he's got a very lucky, especially like the second set with the double crits with Garchomp, and now that's crazy. But yeah, Tyranitar underspeeds my Groudon, which is really important to note. But this way, I really want to save a Lunar Dance so I can get Groudon back in with Lunar Dance somehow. And I think I can do it next turn with a Fake Out. That's perfectly fine. We also do this. I don't think I died to my own Earthquake. Still, I do. Huh. I guess I don't know my calcs. These things are minus attack now though, so this thing has Fake Out active. So I definitely need to go into Dialga here. I go Dialga here. I switch this thing into Cress and I click Protect, I think. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that Tyranitar flinch could have lost me the game, but we'll see. I'll still obviously try my best. But Dialga Hitmontop, Lugia Tyranitar, Chomp, and something that we don't know. But if I get a Lunar Dance, Trick Room would be more beneficial than Lunar Dancing. But this is the Fake Out turn, so that's why this is fine. I don't think he's Earthquaking here. I think he's Dragon Clawing. Interesting. There's the Citrus. And now, obviously he gets to kill Cress here. But before he does that, I can Helping Hand and Dragon Pulse to kill Garchomp. I don't think he is risking protecting on Garchomp. I think he needs this Cress dead. If he does, then that's obviously an incredibly good play. But I obviously also really need this Garchomp gone. But I protect on Garchomp here, and Mach Punch the Cresselia is the right play for him. But I think he can't afford to let me get the Mach Punch doesn't kill. The thing here is Mach Punch doesn't kill Cress, and if I get actually, do I kill Garchomp even without? Oh, I kill it even without Helping Hand. Well, then I'm going for this. Because if he protects Garchomp and Mach Punches Cresselia, and it's well, he's gonna die to Toxic, I get Trick Room off, and I think, oh, I think I win now. I'm even alive. Oh, this is humongous. Well, we're always... now he kills me with Mach Punch, which is like what he needs to click on this thing. But I'm still clicking Lunar Dance, because if he doesn't do it, then I just win. The issue here is that I need to get rid of Sand, because Sand Veil obviously means that my Dragon Pulse is only 80% accurate, which is why Guard Tramp is an issue. But the issue here is that I need to take this KO. Actually, he gets to keep Sand anyway. Oh, that's perfectly fine. I get to bring in Groudon in full life. I think Tyranitar dies, and now there is no Sand Veil to worry about. That crit didn't matter. Right? I can check, did it matter, but it did. Yeah, no, it didn't. Jeez. Dude, I got so terrified there at the end. GG's gamer. Dude.
GG's.
The double fucking crits on Chomp the previous game and now the Rock Slide Flinch on T-Tar got me fucking sweating both games.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah. It didn't matter. None of those mattered.
I mean, without the T-Tar flinch this game, like, this would have been way over.
Yeah, but like, none of them mattered in the long term because it was obvious that there was no chance I was going to win against the Trick Room team, with the comp that I had. Regardless of how this went, the only Pokemon that I had that could do anything within Trick Room was literally Hitmontop and T-Tar.
Yeah, T-Tar underspeeding
Groudon
caught me off guard.
Yeah, like, it just straight up didn't matter. Nothing I did in the second game mattered past the first turn in most of them. I hit Hitmontop, Cresselia was too strong a lead, and that's it. And in the first set, I just got completely fucked over by the fact that I forgot about Swift Swim happening, and I went like, well, I outspeed the Ludicolo here, so I'm just going to click this. And then the Ludicolo outsped me. And I was like, wait, that's not right. And then I realized, oh, wait, yeah, actually it is, because the video game just doesn't tell me when the when the speed is changed for some reason, even though it's quite evidently changed. And it tells me when things have been eaten, even though I shouldn't even know if things have been eaten.
Yeah, the one thing that Showdown doesn't show you is speed. I don't think it does it with anything. Actually, it shows you your own speed, not your opponent's.
Yeah, which is a case of like...
Actually, I guess...
I think it's a bit weird how when you have a Pokemon that is clearly outspeeding you within rain, and it can't physically outspeed you outside of rain, why doesn't the thing just show you, oh, it's got Swift Swim? And so, okay, yeah.
It's the... I was gonna say, like, if it only had Swift Swim, I don't know if it would show you then, but I guess it's because it has a second... ability as well, because if it showed you that speed then you couldn't do stuff with, for example, like Choice Scarf Ludicolo, which is what obviously, like, you could do Rain Dish Choice Scarf to basically bait the ability. So I guess that's why they don't show it.
I'm more so saying I think it would make sense that after you have had a turn on a Pokemon where it's not using a priority move, it should show the speed range from after the, like, assumed speed tier. Like, if you have a Ludicolo that is faster than a Kyogre, Choice Scarf Kyogre with max speed investment, the game should go like, oh yeah, this is probably faster than your Kyogre with max speed investment. Instead of being like, oh yeah, here you go. This is quite obviously a 134 speed Ludicolo, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know programming, so I don't know how hard it would be for it to do that stuff. But yeah, the speed has been the one thing that doesn't show for your opponent stuff.
They already do this thing with items that are used up.
Yep.
When you have an item that gets used up and then it says, oh, this had an item, but it's been eaten or it has been exhausted. And it's like, well, I shouldn't even know that. Even after I've seen it be eaten, if you can't tell me that a Pokemon is faster than this, you shouldn't be allowed to tell me that a Pokemon has eaten its berry, because like both of these are things that you would need to remember having happened, and thus both of these things have the same amount of like open information having happened on them. You can make the argument, well, if your Pokemon are in Trick Room, then how does that work? If your Pokemon are outspeeding the other Pokemon, then it's like, well, speed stats are inverted. That doesn't apply for this, for example. Or if you're like, well, what if the Pokemon actually, yeah, what if the Pokemon pops a speed boost? Like let's say it pops a move that gives it 100% more speed. Then it should just say that it has possibly twice as much speed as its base speed. That's it.
Yeah, like I said,
There's a way to do it.
I don't know stuff about that enough. I just see the argument for why they don't show it, and that's all I know. So I'm not gonna talk about that anymore. I don't know, so I'm not gonna take it. In ota kantaa.
There's a bunch of reasons why you wouldn't want to do it, and I think most of them just fall into the thing of like, well, you just gotta know, man. You gotta know, man. You can do the tricks with it. Well, yeah, but after I've seen the thing once, it should just show it. It's like if there was a way for me to tell you have an item based off of how you're playing, like if you have a life orb, the game tells you have a life orb if you've taken life orb damage. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Which is like, well, you shouldn't be telling me that. I should know that.
Because that's the thing. Because literally everything else it tells you except for speed. So I'm sure they have a really good reason for why they don't do it with speed. And what I brought up was just like a couple examples of why it could be. But like because everything else they're really transparent. Because the idea of Showdown is to make it accessible, where normally you would be note taking constantly. Now you don't have to do that. It's like that's why I'm sure there is a good reason. I don't know what the reason is. I can only guess, and I think the same goes for like both of us. Like we can only guess, and it's like it would be nice, but I'm sure there is a good reason why it's not there.
I cannot see a realistic reason why you wouldn't just give a range of what the Pokemon's fate is after a turn.
That's fair, but I doubt that was everything. That was it. Well,
no. No,
what was
it was just a case of like I was annoyed after that, and I just kind of wanted to get out of the second match after I got hit by the Trick Room set, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't actually deal with any of these Pokemon because I don't have enough priority moves on this team, and none of my backup Mons are slow enough to actually do anything here, and the one backup Mon that is kind of slow is only slow in the sense that like it has 120 speed instead of 150.
Yippee. What was the 6-mon in the second team that just you never brought?
I don't even remember.
Gotcha.
I don't know which team you're talking about.
The Sand team, because it like had Chomp and Titar, Dialga, Lugia, and Hitmontop, and then something.
It had Empoleon.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Well, oh yeah, but you were saying like before this set, like you finally get to use something that you haven't been able to before. Was it like Dialga or Titar? I see.
No, in VGC because I couldn't get to use it last week.
Oh yeah.
Last time, not last week, but last time.
Yeah, because it evolves at level 55, and Gen 3 they had the silly rules for that. That's true.
I absolutely do not care for any legendaries at all. Like legendaries are some of the most boring Pokemon in existence.
I really actually I like a lot of the box art legendaries, so that's why like in general like I like the restricted VGC formats the most. Well, I don't know about from playing, but the only before this series, like the only VGC I played was obviously the mythical restricted variant, so I only had experience in a restricted variant already. And then like from what I've seen, obviously Wolfie play and stuff like that, I tend to prefer I don't know, like obviously there's more room for it like in these earlier formats that we are playing, but I think like for otherwise like non-restricted formats, especially in the modern game, I feel like it's always like okay, it's Urshifu, it's Rillaboom, it's Incineroar, like it's the same ones every time in non-restricted formats. That I feel like makes those like more boring. And then like if they ban stuff like the format where they banned like Urshifu and the Paradox Mons, like that was better because then there was actually some variants. But even that in like Gen 9, when you have like so many crazy Mons like Ursaluna, Blood Moon, like Golden Go, shit like that, Annihilate, it's still tends to be like you're seeing the same like 10 Pokemon in non-restricted formats, and obviously those being restricted formats means that you see these mons a lot less, which I, for the most part, this why I think they're pretty cool, since you don't really get to use them otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's also just a problem with how a lot of these future mons are designed, where essentially when you're playing a restricted format, the legendaries are so strong that you have to essentially play them. There's no way around. You need to be playing the restricted Pokemon, otherwise your teams are going to be lacking in the oomph necessary to beat other restricted Pokemon. So you will run into a situation where, well, you need to be making Pokemon that can actually compete with the restricted Pokemon, so that you don't just end up with boring metagames where the restricted Pokemon are the only things that are relevant on a restricted Pokemon team. But then that leads into the situation that you just described, where if there's no restricted Pokemon like allowed at all, you have to run the good Pokemon that are the best, because they can compete with the restricted Pokemon essentially, so they're better than 80% of the rest of the entire cast of the Pokemons. And that's just kind of
It is a problematic loop.
yeah, because you need to create Pokemon that compete with the good ones, while also being able to be used outside of when the good ones are there, which then causes everything that is okay or decent to become bad.
Yep.
And it's kind of a shame.
The
We
other-
haven't really had that. I mean, yeah, we haven't had that yet, except for like Little
it's
Cup,
not a
where we
real
could
like
literally see that
Gen
happen.
Gen 5 is the first big wave of power creep. Like you'll see, like Gen 5 did I say Gen 3? I meant to Gen 5. I think I said Gen 3, but
No, you
like
said
Gen
Gen
5
5.
is like the first big wave of power creep. With like obviously like one thing that I didn't mention about like non-restricted formats of mons that are fucking broken. The Gens, Thunders, Landers, and Tornadus. Ever since they came out, they've been some of the best Pokemon in not only VGC, but they're really good in singles too. But especially in VGC, they're fucking insane. And that's only one thing there, but you also have like a bunch of like insane steel type, like Excadrill, like Pharaoh. Like there are so many good mons in Gen 5. Like that's the first big wave of power creep, and then I think like after that it's like Sword and Shield is like a more minor wave, and then eventually when we get to Scarlet and Violet, like that's when it just like alright, they just said like fuck it. I'm pretty sure that the first month of Scarlet and Violet, more mons got banned to Uber. I might be mistaken with this, but I think more mons got banned to Ubers from OU than literally any other generation combined prior to that, if you're not counting legendaries. Because like they act like 5 Paradox Pokemon. There was the fucking Palafin got shot.
Fucking Iron Bundle.
Dude,
that they made Delibird
okay,
like the most broken.
Yeah, I think that's really that I thought was so fucking funny that somehow they made a Delibird mon literally one of the most broken Pokemon in the game. It's like, what the fuck is happening? But yes, to talk a little bit about this on my teams, as you saw, like both times for both teams, I just brought the same 4. The like I said, like both teams had one mon that is completely unusable basically. In the first team, the 2 mons that I didn't bring were Rhyperior and Arcanine. Arcanine was there to be used like if it ended up being a Rain versus Sun team, then obviously like Arcanine could make use of your Sun. It's just a Flare Blitz, Extreme Speed, Protect them, Helping Hand. Just there, okay, Flare Blitz, you can use your opponent's Sun against them. Extreme Speed, obviously good priority. It had a Shuka Berry to live Earthquake from any version of Groudon after Intimidate, and Helping Hand just there to help deal damage. And the idea with the Rhyperior, it's a joy-spanded Rhyperior, the moves, they don't matter. With Lightning Rod, it's like, okay, if this is a Rain versus Rain matchup, then I can bring this thing in with Lightning Rod when you're trying to click Thunder on like a Palkia or a Kyogre on my Kyogre, and it just eats the Lightning Rod. But it immediately crumbles when I realized then the best moves that I have to hit those things back with Kyogre is Thunder, and I would then also be absorbing my own Thunder. So then it turns into, okay, I'm using this to combat choice-locked restricted, where it's like Kyogre, I think you're always running with Specs or Scarf. Because like I was theory crafting a Calm Mind set at first, but it's like with with two restricted, and
dies,
especially here, yeah, especially with like some, if you're facing something like Palkia, using your own Thunder against you, you're gonna blow up. So it's like you still need Protect. So am I then running Kyogre with Protect and Calm Mind and 2 attacking moves? And it just seemed like not feasible. So then I ended up just going for Specs. If I didn't run Ludicolo, then I would have probably gone for Scarf myself. But I figured like the thing with obviously Ludicolo with Swiss Swim is like, okay, well I can the Ludicolo also. One thing that makes Ludicolo so fucking insane in this is obviously weather is extra good in VGC. Groudon and Kyogre are both weak to Grass Knot and both heavy as fuck. So Ludicolo basically blows them up. This mon is crazy. But for the like theory behind Rhyperior that I had when I made this team was like, okay, well, Jeexx will see it in the team preview, and yeah. So yeah, for context, I'm pretty sure I made both this and the 2009 VGC teams at once. So I was literally like, when Jeexx sees this in team preview, he then has to be like, oh yeah, I can't just willy-nilly click Thunder, because what if Rhyperior comes in? I'm wasting my turn. And especially if I'm choice locked, then I literally can't do anything on the board. But then when we played the 2009, I don't remember if I said it then, but like when we played the previous VGC set, I'm like, oh yeah, team preview comes out in Gen 5. So it's like, okay, well, what the fuck am I doing? But like the more I thought, I was like, I don't know anything what I would slot in here. But at the same time, like, Kyogre and Palkia are coming to every single match. Ludicolo, basically the same thing. And then it's just like, okay, if I'm against Rain, I'm bringing Hariyama, because Thick Fat, I take less damage from ice moves. It gives me another Fake Out. It gives Low Kick, which is another case of those, like a move that hits harder on heavier mons. And if I'm playing a Sun team, then it's Arcanine time. I guess like it would have been awkward if I played this team against your second team, because I basically just went into this like, both of us are bringing Kyogre and are bringing Groudon. And then it was, I guess it would have still been Hariyama, because that still gives me a 2 Fake Out core. And
Hariyama also kills T-Tar 100% of the time with any fighting type move.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's not really anything in the team that just deals with it outside of maybe Lugia.
Yeah.
So,
Hariyama,
Lugia Psychic could have probably killed, but that's that.
Yeah, actually, because it has like really good HP, but really awful special defense. So actually, yeah, one restricted Psychic might have killed. I think actually now I'm realizing I think I might have talked about, because I'll have to check, but I'm pretty sure like when I was doing my team breakdown, I'm pretty sure it's coming back to me that I was talking about like restricted mons, and I was like saying like realistically there are 5 restrictions you're picking from for this, and those were the 4 that I was using and Rayquaza, because it negates weather. And then I'm pretty sure I was talking about something like mute, like if Jeexx bust out the Mewtwo, then I'm Smoke Bomb. Like then at that point, like he can have it, bro. If you're bringing Mewtwo to VGC, then honestly you got it. But
the actual reasoning for why I picked Lugia over like most of the other ones is because Fire type, Fire Flying type just kind of crumbles to a Rock Slide, and I didn't feel like Giratina was giving me enough in the team to justify. But Lugia felt like, well, it's got Aeroblast Psychic and it gets Icy Wind.
Yep.
It's fairly fast, so it's the fastest mon on the team, like by a landslide. So I can use it for speed control while also dealing a good chunk of damage. And obviously Aeroblast and a Psychic deal good damage as well.
It's funny to think that like Lugia as a fast mon, because obviously me as a singles player, like Lugia to me is it's the wall in Ubers. Like it is the wall in Ubers. It's the Blissey and the Chansey of Ubers, and it's really funny that way. It's like, oh yeah, it's actually fast, because obviously it's used to being like, yeah, this thing has 17,000 HP and never dies.
Yeah.
It just stalls you with pressure and recover, and then it's like, oh yeah, this shit. I literally said it like, I'm like, brother, this guy brought Life Orb Lugia. What the fuck am I supposed to do against this shit with close team sheet? But yeah, but for the second team, the one of the mons for that was never coming in was Dugong. It's kind of the reverse of Arcanine in the first team, where it's like, okay, if I'm going up against a rain team, this gives me a ice and a water resist. It has Wakam Berry, which house damage from an electric type move. So this was like literally here for Kyogre, obviously. And interestingly enough, Dugong gets Fake Out. It has Fake Out and Encore, so it's just there to be obnoxious.
How the fuck does that thing fake you out?
I'm literally, because the thing here was like literally I built a rain team first, so I had 2 Fake Outs there, and I really like 2 Fake Out. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense because you can tag them out to each other, so I really like it. Double Fake Out core, and I literally just I typed into the Pokemon search screen. I was like, okay, Fake Out. Which Mons learn Fake Out? And I just picked the one that deals with Kyogre, in my opinion, the best, and that was it. And the Encore was obviously there because, like I said, I expect Kyogre to be choice locked, so I'm switching this into like an ice move or a water move, and then I'm encoring it into that move, even if it's not choiced. Basically, essentially putting the same lock on it that I was doing otherwise, and that was the idea there. But obviously, the issue there is that I would be playing Dugong in a restricted format, which is why it's like, all right, I mean, dude, I have Cresselia here. This thing is the bulkiest mon that's ever existed in VGC. And it's backed with Hitmontop. Oh, interesting. By the way, Hitmontop wearing Copa Berry, literally there because of Rayquaza. Otherwise, like, I would have liked to have a Sorry?
Oh, for flying type moves?
Yeah. It's like the... I would have liked to have a Citrus on it, but the issue here is that Citrus, I wanted to have on Groudon, and it's my restricted, so I put more value on it, and Lefties was on Cresselia, so it's like, well, we kind of don't have recovery
not
anymore.
Able to.
So, and then I was just thinking, like, okay, do I pick a Cobra Berry or a, like, Psychic Resist Berry? And I figured, like, that's the other case where I was, like, referring back to the Mewtwo. If he comes out with a Mewtwo, then, dude, he can have it. I'm more scared of Ray. But and
then I brought both.
And yeah, then it was both fused into one. Actually, wait, that's kind of true. That's actually funny. You're right. But then the final mon that I'm sad that I didn't get to bust out, because like if game 1, obviously you didn't bring out. You only brought 1 restricted, and I was in my mind, like I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure the other one is Groudon, but I also had the in the back of my mind, like, it might also be Ray, where it's like you have Tyranitar for Sand, and then you also have one of your restricted be Ray, like it's just a weather control, because you're expecting weather, you're just there to turn that down. And the final mon in this team, which is obviously all 4 of my mons, apart from Hitmontop, are minus speed nature and min speed. Hitmontop is actually a neutral speed, and it has 4 speed IVs, which is literally there. So if you have a Hitmontop, that is like no speed investment, that I can have the faster Fake Out, which we just it was in the second game for the second teams. I think like you Fake Out at my Cresselia and I Fake Out at your Dialga, so it could have come up there, but like it didn't. But it's just funny that it just occurred. But that's the ideology there. But the last one was Executor, with obviously Chlorophyll under Sun. Like, it just outspeeds everything, literally everything in the entire format. And the idea was there, like, if you're running a Trick Room strategy or I can't get my Trick Room off, then Executor comes in, and under Sun you have Solar Beam for a 120 base power grass move to obviously hit anything super hard in grass. You also have Grass Knot also for Executor, which once again like destroys the restricted that I'm most afraid of. And the final move was Hidden Power Fire, which obviously is a fire move. Now under Sun, if there is, because like I said, like if you're taking advantage of Trick Room or something, so mostly something like Dialga, and then obviously you can hit that for super effective with HP Fire of Executor. So like that would have been, I think, really cool if it came up, but because I half expected the last restricted to be Ray, it's then like, okay, am I bringing this shit in against sand/weather control, when obviously then there is no Chlorophyll? Suddenly I'm in a restricted format and I'm playing Executor. And the other restricted that I was expecting was Groudon, which then just like, okay, well, if it's Groudon, probably has a fire move. If it's with Ray, then actually no, it could have, wait, why did I do that? Because I obviously saw Lugia. Okay, yeah, that's methodology. That's, I guess, when my brain fried. But like the Executor was there, like, okay, if I need a backup plan for the Trick Room strategy, then Executor would do a lot. And I think like that's the one thing that also would take a lot of advantage of it still not being open to team sheet, because it's like, okay, you just see game 1, it's like, okay, it's hard Trick Room, and then game 2, it's like, oh wait, there's an Executor with 400 speed here when I expect the Trick Room. Dude, I went on a Eminem rap there. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I was yapping.
It's all good. It's all good. The teams that I built were mostly just like I want to put Titor in, and I want to put I want to put Palkia in. What do I play with Palkia? Well, I guess I'll put Kyogre because that's gonna boost Palkia.
Yep.
Okay. What else do I put? Well, Suicune is in here, and Suicune is gonna work if I don't want to just be one-shotting shit. I can use Suicune to be a special defensive wall. Yeah, that works. Let's go with that. Weavile. Yeah, let's put Weavile in. Hell yeah. And then the last two, I'm like, what the fuck do I put in? Do I put Snorlax back in and just boom again? And then I was like, no. I did that last week. Week.
That's one thing. Did Azelf have Explosion?
So then I put Azelf in, being like, I can give this boom too. And I could boom with this. And then I ended up not booming with it. It's a U-turn protect under toxic style.
Gotcha. Because the one turn where I don't remember what else I did, but it was something like weird, and then like protect on. I had a Hariyama something else on board, and I protected Hariyama. That was like when I was like, oh, he's 100% exploding here. Oh yeah, I think that was when like your Suicune protected and I protected Hariyama, and then you went for a Thunder instead.
Or U-turn on Ludicolo.
Yeah, you're right.
I was expecting you to switch out the Ludicolo, because from what I was looking, you wouldn't be able to kill anything before my U-turn went off on it. So I would have just popped Icy Wind or Hydro Pump, and a U-turn would have killed the Ludicolo. And that's why I was thinking there, I'm just going to click U-turn on this. I'm going to click, because I assume you're switching. Because you're looking at this thinking, oh, I can't kill either of these. So he's going to double up on this. I'm going to either protect or so on. So I figured I'm just going to U-turn into the Ludicolo and protect on Suicune, so that if you switch out, I get some chip on it. Because Hariyama was like 0 HP.
Yeah, it was literally like 12% or something.
Yeah, touching this means I lose. If this thing dies right now, I just lose. Because you're just switching anything, and I can't outspeed it, I can't kill it, it's just going to kill everything. And then I went from there with the thought process of Ludicolo dies, Ludicolo can kill my Kyogre, can kill my Suicune, can kill my Palkia. So if it disappears right the fuck now, I'm chilling. I'm kind of chilling. And then you didn't switch, and then I was, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, because I knew, because at that point I still had my sash intact. That like I knew like, okay, even if like you had.
Oh, it was
like,
sash Ludicolo.
Yeah, it was sash Ludicolo.
Okay.
I was like maximum special attack, maximum speed, timid. But like that's the logic there was like, okay, like I expected boom, so I was like, okay, Suicune is protecting, I'm protecting my Hariyama, so I then have priority intact. You boom, I don't lose my Ludicolo, because I have the sash still intact. And then after that, because at that point you had 3 months left, and then you would have had to send the last mon in, which I expected to be Kyogre, ended up being Palkia. But then I was like, okay, then at that point you can't switch anymore. In which case I can get weather control, I can get fake outs back in, and I can do stuff that way. But obviously, at that point, like you couldn't know the sash yet, so
yeah.
But that's why I went for the play that I did.
Should have doubled down.
Moonmon, wait, which Moonmon are you talking
I was wondering about Cresselia, because I was like, isn't Cresselia restricted? But no, it's a mythical.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not. That's the funny thing. It's not a mythical either, because mythical Pokemon are never allowed in VGC. Sorry, basically, it is just a different legendary. It's so. Yeah, this is the thing. I also thought so. So Generation 4, Darkrai is a mythical. Cresselia is not. Heatran is not a mythical. Shaymin is.
There's a bunch of Heatrans.
Yeah, but it's
there's many Heatrans.
But yeah, like it's because to me, like I always in my head, as a kid, like it was like, okay, you have like Regigigas at that point I didn't even know existed, because like Kid Me is not solving the Regi puzzle.
Oh, I should have brought Regigigas, bro.
But yeah, like Cresselia, Darkrai, Heatran, and Shaymin to me were always like the other legendaries, and that was like, oh yeah, oh they're the mythicals. But it's like, no, Shaymin is a mythical Pokemon, and Darkrai is a mythical Pokemon, but Cresselia and Heatran are not.
Man.
But yeah.
Let's go.
But yeah, that's about it.
Oh yeah, names. I assumed you just had Japanese names for everything.
Yes, that's I can do. I'll figure something out for the future. But for when I made these, like I had no ideas for. Like I said, like I made both of these at once. So I literally for every character I pasted their English name into Google Translate, and whatever came out in Japanese is what I did.
But that's not even how the what. The Pokemon names are like different depending on region.
Yeah,
they're not Bulbasaur in like it's not Bulbasaur.
Yeah, but that's what I did.
Man, I mean that works. That's kind of goofy in its own right. But yeah.
For yours,
I came up with these names 5 minutes or like 3 minutes before I started recording the breakdown. Mm-hmm. I started recording the breakdown. I stopped recording the breakdown because I realized they didn't have names yet. So I just came up with them. And I was looking at FGO stuff on the side. So I was like, fuck it. I'm naming my water team after... Oh, there's Kyogre. I'm going to name Kyogre Noah. They're riders now. Ivan for Palkia. Columbus for Revile. Georges for Suicune because George is a fucking wall. Sima Yi for Azel because that's a strategist. And then Ozymandias for Gliscor because this motherfucker had Focus Sash, Hyper Cutter, EQ, U-Turn, Protect, Rock Slide, and Max Attack Investment. Huge. This motherfucker was coming out swinging.
Yeah, that explains why Ludicolo's Icy Wind did like 70%. Like, yes, it's not super effective, but still, like, yeah, this guy's offensive, huh?
And the goal was to like just get hit by an ice beam and be like, yeah, don't give a fuck, peace.
I like the goal is to get the goal. My main goal is to blow up.
Yeah, and then still kill you, maybe.
Yeah,
and then fuck off.
I like it. I like it. And the other team.
The other team was also FGO stuff, but it was Avengers, because I was thinking, well, T-Tar, Dark, Rock, let's go with Avenger, and Ushigozen in Fate. When you fight her for the first time in one of the events, she causes a thunderstorm. Mm-hmm. So the idea was Sandstream, thunderstorm, and then I went from there and I hit like Antonio Salieri because Lugia is like white and reddish pink, which was like, oh, I guess that works. Elizabeth Bathory for Garchomp because her most recent version is of Avenger with the dragon form. Mm-hmm. And then Space Ishtar works perfectly for Dialga because it's space.
Well,
and then Nobunaga for Empoleon.
Jeexx, very famously, Palkia and Dialga are space and time, so it's literally Dialga is the time.
Yeah. I mean, nobody uses roar time. This thing might as well be Palkia too.
Palkia
Nobunaga
too,
for Empoleon because Nobunaga, right? And Foreign States. And then the last guy, I think I forgot an R from Angraman U. It's the 0-star Avenger from Fate. It's the Mud of the Holy Grail. So, for example, if you've seen Fate Zero, the thing that shows Kiritsugu the visions, that's Angerman U.
I'd be so dead ass. I did not remember Kiritsugu saw some visions, bro. It's been so long since I've seen Zero.
He sees that. Oh, spoilers for Fate Zero in
manga.
3, 2, 1. So that scene where Kiritsugu is essentially told to choose between the many and the few, he shoots Ilya. In the fucking flash, not the flashback, but the visions that he's having. Mm-hmm. That part. That's a vision that he sees from the Holy Grail, and it's given to him because of Angerman U, because he's corrupted the Grail.
I see.
Because Avenger being in the Grail.
I'm realizing I don't remember anything from Fate Zero. I think if Gilgamesh wasn't on the screen, I was Hongshu.
I mean,
I think it's just been so long since I've seen it, so I don't remember details.
Probably like a decade at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, him on top worked because the idea is like, he's essentially all of the evils of the world. the
Gotcha.
anger menu. All the
So-
evils of the world.
so
He
it's
got, like,
intimidate and
everything was
fake out.
pinned on him.
All the evils in the world, so intimidate and
Toxic,
fake out.
fake
and
out,
toxic,
protect,
yeah.
intimidate, mock punch. Like two priority moves. Protect. Obviously, I would have preferred to have Wide Guard if Wide Guard was here, but still. And then
Yeah.
Toxic. So
Yeah, I was literally talking about it, about White Guard, but I think it comes out in Generation 5.
no, all right.
But, dude, my soul can rest. Didn't go 0x in doubles formats in
Hell yeah.
the series. I can rest.
Good.
Now
good,
we
good
can
for
go
you.
back to getting
Happy for you.
fucking blown up. But so any final
Let
thoughts
me
on
pull up
Generation
a
4?
meme real quick.
Oh, sorry.
Let me pull up a meme real quick.
Oh,
This is perfect.
I'm
perfect.
looking. I'm looking at your stream.
No,
Did
no,
you?
no. I'm sending it on
Oh,
Discord.
send it to me. Let me see.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I can just show it here, but yeah, it's Jeexx sent me this. Yeah, I don't think he's actually happy for me.
What do you mean? I'm so happy for you.
But
so glad.
final thoughts on Gen 4?
I mean, it's not Gen 3, it's not Gen 2, and it's not Gen 1. So I think it's doing pretty good for itself.
Okay, thus far, 4 generations down, every generation has been better than the previous one.
Yeah.
We can agree.
No fucking doubt.
Yeah, it's like it's because that's the thing. It's like, when is it gonna start going the other direction? Because it's happening at some point for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think it's gonna happen either in XY or Sun and Moon. I think XY might be worse than Gen 5, or Sun and Moon might end up feeling worse than XY.
I think for me, like, Sun and Moon would make sense. It's just like, the thing is, like, obviously for me, X and Y megas come out. I love that mechanic, and Sun and Moon megas are still there, and that is the generation that I played extensively. So it's like I hold it close to my heart. But I know when we get to Sword and Shield, and I'm like, oh, dude, you know who would be really good in this team, this one, and then we're like, oh, unavailable. Oh yeah, they cut off half the Pokédex.
Yep.
I think at the very latest at that point, it's like, oh yeah, dude, I hate it here actually.
You don't get it. It's so hard to maintain all of the Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro,
I would,
so hard.
It would, like, for a little bit, it was like, okay, you know what? It's actually fine, because that means that there is more Pokemon variety. And then it's like, yeah, actually, we're bringing back every single gym, and we're also bringing back every single legendary, and those are not getting excluded. And then it's like, okay, but yeah, so what was this for?
And then they introduced Pokemon that essentially replaced the previous ones because they're better than the
like,
previous
yeah,
ones. They're not even in the game.
Don't worry, we have this guy about Thanos now. But yeah, I would very much obviously agree. But for any expectation for Generation 5?
Bro, I just want to use Bisharp, man.
Oh hell yeah, Bisharp is really cool. You'll get to use Bisharp for sure. And
Excadrill and Bisharp are both Pokemon that I think about from Gen 5. I'm like, yeah, maybe there are cool Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean,
Gen 4.
I think like Gen 5, around Gen 5 is like when it more like shifted to like me being like, okay, fighting type is the coolest type, to being like, you know what, I think Steel type is actually the coolest type.
Yeah, Steel type is so fucking slick.
That's the cool thing about Lucario. He's both.
Yep.
But
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, for
But Lucario is not from that.
yeah, Lucario Gen 4 obviously, but for Generation 5, I also think it's the first time when there's like no real major mechanics changes. Because obviously, like, we've had items, we've had abilities, we've had EVs, we've had now physical special split. For Generation 5, there's basically nothing like that. We get Eviolite, obviously huge.
Yeah, which is kind of big.
A lot of like moves like Scald, White Guard, like just a bunch. It would take 10 years for me to list everything. A bunch of just really good moves, really good items. And then obviously Auto Weather being permanent is also one thing, which makes Weather's also already been really prominent when we played, but like it's going to be even more prominent. But apart from that, like, it's just going to be more Pokemon. But also one thing that is different, that is we're only doing this for Generation 5 because I don't think the other generations have it. But usually we've always started with just a regular OU format. But for Generation 5, before we jump into the regular OU, which is essentially the black and white 2 OU, we're going to play black and white 1 OU. So the Pokemon pool is going to be slightly restricted, but also there's going to be a lot of like mechanics and stuff that's not banned, that is banned in later OU, because after Black and White 2 came out, like those strategies proved to be way too broken, so they got banned. So it's gonna look, although both are OUs, it's gonna look like a whole different metagame, and that's why, because it's like it's so different. It even has its own like highlight format. I thought it was like cool enough to play the extra format, and also like as we talked about the power creep, like getting to showcase that with an extra episode essentially, like should be good fun.
Yeah, 100%. I'm thinking about it, by the way, now. There was something that does change, isn't there? Oh, no, wait, no. I was thinking about move changes and whatnot that happen, like certain moves getting buffed, but knockoff doesn't get buffed until like Gen 6.
I think it's Gen 6. I've also always looked at general defining mechanics. This is what I use for my interest, but in my in the series, like when I do generational intros, like there's this article. It's pretty dated at this point on Smogon University. It's generation defining mechanics. This was published in 2021, so obviously there's a lot there that is not here, because obviously the last one here is Sword and Shield, but here like there's a bunch of stuff listed for black and white. It's permanent weather, obviously, as I talked about, basically called auto weather. So drizzle, drought, and sandstream, literally all of those weathers last unlimited, an unlimited amount of time unless they're overwritten, which makes weather insanely broken in Gen 5. Team preview, obviously listed here. Like there's listed moves, but it's literally, there is one of the 5 subheadings is just Scald. I mean, this move is great. It's 70 base power, 30% to burn. It's crazy. Boom nerf. Well, this is relevant.
Oh
for
yeah,
you.
yeah. It doesn't.
So yeah,
cut,
this was the defense having gets removed.
Yeah.
So Explosion and Self-Destruct previously essentially had 500 and 400 base power because of the defense having nature, but now they're gonna be just 200 and 250. But obviously the last listed thing here, gems. With gems, you're still gonna be booming for basically the same amount of time. So if you want to go for a normal gem boom, obviously that's there as an option, but now it at least takes a move slot. So that was the thing. That I completely forgot about. But yeah, boom gets nerfed in black and white. And then gems obviously are just like before Z moves get introduced, the Z moves. One time used for a move.
Okay.
To give it a boost. But this is what
I must say now, I need to go take a shit.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. But this is like time anyway, so I appreciate you taking your time. Anyway, so thank you for the games, and we'll see you next time for Black and White 1 OU in the Stardust Generation 5. So thank you, Jeexx, for being here. Thank you, chat, for lending your streamer to me once again. And thank you, the viewer, for watching the video. We'll see you next week. Bye.